Hey, this is Blair from the Jealous Sound. You are listening to WMNF Tampa.
The opinions presented on the Healthy Steps show are the evidence-based opinions of Dr. Fred Harvey, the callers, and his guests. These are not the opinions of the staff, the volunteers, or the board of WMNF. The information provided on the show is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. There is no implied patient-physician relationship in these calls. The nature of the calls is educational and informational only.
Well, hello there, my dear listeners. Ain't it just the cat's pajamas to be here with you in the studio on this glorious Monday morning? I cannot thank you enough, my friend, for keeping your dial tuned to WMNF Tampa, the acme of community support radio stations from Tampa Bay to the Gulf of Mexico, and the only FM station that they stream in the Ilium Merchant National Bank, and you can stream us as well at WMNF.org. It is Ask Me Anything Monday, and this show is dependent upon you. Without your comments, questions, and concerns, I feel like I'm just sitting under the tree waiting for Godot. Don't make me wait. Give us a call at 813-239-9663. Sage came in this morning with a smile and a cup of coffee and the hope of taking your call. Again, that number is 813-239-9663. You can send an email to dj@wmnf.org or text us at 813-433-0885. Okay, Dr. Harvey, Ask Me Anything Monday is a real feather in the cap of talk radio, so let me skedaddle and turn this show over to your capable hands. What is up ahead for the show today, Doctor?
Thank you, Bill. Well, I think a little bit of breath work is necessary right now. Just a nice big breath down to the bottom, and then just let it out nice and slow. One more time, and let it out again. This time, feel that air going in your nostrils and the whole way down to below your belly button, nice and slow. And let it go. Relax. Let it all out. I need a bit of that after listening to Amy Goodman. She really has a way of stirring things up with her stories, which is appropriate because these things we need to talk about. But right now I want to talk about a concept that has been around for a while in American medicine, in healthcare. The FDA has come up with this phrase called generally regarded as safe, GRAS. This is a qualification, a regulatory qualification of a substance. And so if something has been used in industry in the past and it hasn't seemed to have killed anybody, then it is generally regarded as safe. There's no proof that it's safe. There's no science that says it's safe. But this is a loophole that allows these industrial food producers that create chemical swill that they call food, but really is just a box of chemical swill. It allows them to put the chemical swill in there because nobody's ever proven it's bad. It's been used before, and so then they can keep using it. It's a very bad loophole because generally regarded as safe is not proof of safety. And the GRAS concept comes into play in this next piece of information that I'm going to give you. We should really change our perspective on generally regarded as safe because of this. The article published last fall, September of 25, in the journal Neurology is titled Association Between Consumption of Low and No-Calorie Artificial Sweeteners and Cognitive Decline, an 8-year prospective study. So this is really important because many studies that we do looking at nutrients are look-back studies. They're retrospectives, and they're not actually truly studies designed to actually look at a specific thing. We look at populations through population data like the Women's Health Initiative and other big population studies, and that data is all available. So people go back in and look at it and try to find patterns in it. And there are some, but prospective study sets up a look forward with specific parameters that eliminate noise. When you look back, there's a lot of noise. You can't eliminate it because it was just there. But when you set up a prospective study, you can actually control for specific factors that would interfere. And so this study was designed to look specifically at these issues and looked forward for 8 years. And they looked at it in 3 different subsets, three different waves: 2008 to 10, 2012 to 14, and 2017 to 19. And it looked at 35-year-old and older Brazilian civil servant workers with an average age of 51. And they really did an excellent job of controlling the data so that there would be less noise, so this could actually be more significant. And what they found, or what they did, was they eliminated participants that had incomplete dietary data. They couldn't analyze the whole thing. They had incomplete cognitive data. Their baseline studies weren't complete and the follow-up studies weren't complete, so they couldn't really compare what their brains were doing. And then people that were eating extreme diets, less than 1 percentile of the calories that the group consumed, or more than 99% of the calories that the group consumed. So the outliers were eliminated. And they did 6 different cognitive tests with 12,772 participants. And it was really interesting what they found. And then the baseline here is that they found that 190 milligrams a day of things like aspartame, the ones that they studied, let me just list them to you: aspartame, saccharin, acesulfame K, which is like aspartame, erythritol, xylitol, sorbitol, and something I don't know, probably in Europe, called tagatose. The other 6 I'm quite familiar with. They've been used here for decades and decades. So 190 milligrams per day is the dose that seems to be the one that causes issues. When you get to that level, you're in the highest tertile, which is broken into thirds. The highest group of these people consumes more, that or more. And what they found, and that's equivalent to 1 soda can sweetened with aspartame. So the consumption in the highest third had faster decline in verbal fluency, started having trouble finding words, and global cognitive effects. Global cognition went down. So executive function, trouble with decision making, they call it brain fog. And this, when they looked at some subsets, people with diabetes, people without diabetes, the people without diabetes had the most verbal fluency and cognitive decline, and those with diabetes had more memory loss, more like classical Alzheimer's. And so basically the study tells us that, and this was actually in people under 60 years old. The biggest effect, the largest effect, is people under 60 years old. So if you are consuming 1 can of artificially sweetened soda per day, your risk of decline is vast. And so my recommendation is, based on this data, that no one ever consumes the poisons that I listed: aspartame, saccharin, acesulfame K, erythritol, sorbitol, xylitol, and this other thing called tagatose. On the other hand, we can do things with diet that help our brains. They did a study with whole grains, and they showed that consuming the highest amount of whole grains in specifically African Americans had a decrease in cognitive decline. But it didn't seem to hold for white Americans. So this is a suggestion that everybody Black in America should really consider increasing their whole grain intake, because there was some really good interruption in the Alzheimer's pathway, essentially. Sprouted oats specifically. So that you can buy these. I can't remember what the company is called, but you can get your oatmeal sprouted. And then when you cook that, it's got an extra chemical in it that actually inhibits amyloid beta production. Amyloid beta is the folded protein that is the sine qua non, the pathologic factor that is associated with Alzheimer's disease. One of the biggest ones, the first ones we found. Oats, sprouted oats, prevent that molecule from junking up your brain. And high vegetable intake. And when they're talking about high, the median intake of 3 to 4 servings a day. That's 1 cup of leafy greens that are raw. So 1 cup of salad is, and that's compacted, not just fluffy, but like push that leaf into your fist. And that is a serving of raw leaves. If you cook the leaves, they shrink. So a half a cup of raw leaves and a half a cup of any cooked vegetables is considered a serving. And so if you get 3 to 4 of that size per day, you decrease your risk of cognitive decline by 40% compared with people who eat 1 or less daily. Fruits had no impact either way. So I think it's really amazing that you can simply increase your vegetable intake to 4 a day and decrease your cognitive decline if you're not already eating some. It probably doesn't have as much effect if you're already eating 2 to 3 and you go to 3 to 4. You might want to actually push it to 5 to 7. And still get your fruits because the antioxidants in blueberries and other things are really good for your body, but there's no obvious evidence right now that it impacts cognitive changes. But if you want to work on cognitive changes, we can talk about them. I'm Dr. Fred Harvey, and this is the Healthy Steps Radio Show.
And, Doctor, I welcome you to another Monday here, and I'm inviting all of our listeners to the Healthy Steps Radio Show with you, Dr. Fred Harvey, here on WMNF Tampa, to give us a call and to participate with you, asking your medical questions or whatever your medical concerns are. Just give us a call at 813-239-9663. You can join Greg, who's just sort of solo here in the queue right now, and we want you to join him. Give us a call at 813-239-9663 or send your emails to dj@wmnf.org. Good morning, Greg. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. You?
I'm
Fantastic,
doing great,
Greg.
yeah.
Yeah, hey, I was wondering about the effects, pros and cons of smoking marijuana with stage 4 cancer. It started in prostate and now spread to other parts of my body. I'm getting treated for the cancer, but I'm wondering about the marijuana.
Well, actually, it seems that cannabis can help overall in the situation to support what you're going through there. Some people recommend using oral concentrate, something called RSO, Rick Simpson oil. It's a full spectrum cooked down cannabis extract that is already activated because it's been cooked, and so it's very potent, very highly effective in helping support this process.
My wife doesn't like me to do the RSO because it just knocks me out. Even just a little bit of it goes a long way.
Yeah, I agree. And it's probably something, if you want to maintain alertness, to use only at night. But if, people with really advanced cancer that are having pain, using the RSO is highly effective in augmenting the pain control.
Okay. Yeah, they've done a good job with that so far. It's just the anxieties that I'm having a problem with.
There you go. CBD, I think, helps a bit better with anxiety than THC. In fact, THC can increase anxiety in the absence of CBD.
Well, I know that when I get up in the morning, I'm just full of it. I sit down, I'll sit up by the pool, smoke a joint, drink a cup of coffee, and I'll start to feel better.
Good. It's all about feeling good.
What are the cons against it? Are there any cons that might, at my stage of smoking it?
Well, the evidence that particulates actually are harmful to the vascular system and to the body, that is an issue. And personally, I would switch from combustibles to vapor, because even though the vapor does have particulate in it, it's liquid particulate, not solid particulate, and it's not burnt, so it doesn't have the free radical hydrocarbon burnt products in the tar that are likely to be something also that irritates the system.
Right. Okay. So you don't recommend, you would recommend to definitely just stop smoking?
I think, yeah, I have really curtailed mine because I've read the articles on particulate. So I've gone more to edible and to vapor.
Well, my issue is that the edibles don't really do anything for me. I mean, I can eat 10 of them and really nothing. And my wife
just told me that RSO puts you out. That's an edible.
The RSO just puts me out. So, all right. I just wondered about the smoking. I think I was looking for you to say it's okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's qualified.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Have a good day. And good luck with that prostate cancer.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Great, and thank you very much there, Greg. And I do have Donna in the queue, but she's all alone as well. So I'm going to tell you folks that you are listening to the Healthy Steps radio show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa. And I'm inviting you to participate by giving us a call at 813-239-9663. As I said up at the headway, that I've got Sage in here answering the phones. So give a call. That number is 813-239-9663. And you can continue to send your emails to dj@wmnf.org. Good morning, Donna.
Hello. How you doing?
Good, Donna. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Dr. Harvey. I was just listening to you talking about artificial sweeteners, and I absolutely hate them. Can't stand the taste. Stay far away from them as I can. But I got in a really bad accident in 2005, and ever since then, they gave me a medicine that I wasn't even aware of. At the time, it was giving me dry mouth so bad that it resulted in gum loss and bone loss. So to combat this dry mouth, I'm using these little discs that you stick in your mouth called Xylem, which contains xylitol. I don't know if there's enough of that in there to cause damage, but I know I've heard you before regarding alcohol, saying any alcohol is bad. So I don't know if it's the same thing with xylitol or what.
Xylitol is one of the ones they just studied that contains, that causes these problems. So, yeah, if you can avoid xylitol, that would be a good thing.
Yeah. Do you know of anything else? It's really simple. You stick them in your mouth, they stick to your gum, and when you wake up, there's still remnants of it, so your mouth isn't dry. You know of any other substance or anything to prevent dry mouth when you go to sleep at night?
Well, our dry mouth at night is often caused by mouth breathing.
Okay.
And so you may want to work on the reasons you have that. I'm looking here for some different products online. It looks like there are some. I just Googled dry mouth lozenges without xylitol, and let's see, there's a variety of them. Let's see, what about this one? Yeah, that one does have xylitol. The search engine's not exactly good. But I found one called Pure Smile. It's more of a probiotic than it is another what do I say? Like just a moistener. It's got some other stuff to help keep your gums healthy, and that may be useful. Yeah, it looks like most of them, because people love sweet, have these xylitol and sorbitol and all the sugar alcohols that we don't want. But I did find one Oh, and there we go. And they've gotten rid of the aspartame, but sucralose is in this one I'm looking at. So it's going to be a search for you. And
Yeah.
you may want to look into why you continue to have dry mouth. Did they stop the dry mouth medicine that made you dry?
Oh yeah, I stopped that. I still have it. My anti-anxiety one seems to give me a bit of it.
Oh yeah. What is that?
Hydroxyzine.
Oh, hydroxyzine. Yeah, that is its purpose is to make dry mouth and dry nose. Hydroxyzine is a sister chemical to Benadryl, diphenhydramine.
No. Oh my God.
And daily use of those increases your risk of dementia by 50%.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, so I'd find something other than hydroxyzine because that's not really an anti-anxiety medicine.
Wow.
And you might want to actually find a doctor that looks at why a person has anxiety rather than just throwing weird chemicals at a symptom that's probably related to something that's treatable with something that will make it go away.
It's mostly situational. It's after having an accident, being thrown into a situation where I can no longer provide for myself financially
Oh, Lord.
as I should, and Social Security. That's a whole nother show.
Well, that is, and that's not just situational anxiety. That is likely to be PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and that deserves a whole different look. You may want to go see a functional medicine doctor to see if you can get to the root source here and get feeling a bit better.
Okay. And you can search functional medicine doctors online, huh?
You can go to the place where we all get certified, the Institute for Functional Medicine, IFM, and it's
Okay. Hang on.
ifm.org.
M.org. Okay, and one more thing. What was that one thing that you found online called Fair something?
Pure Smile.
Pure Smile. Oh, okay. But I need to get rid of the main problem first, that's for sure.
Yeah. If you could get rid of hydroxyzine, I bet you wouldn't even need to do anything about dry mouth.
Wow. That's awesome. Thank you, Dr. Harvey.
You're welcome. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Let us know what happens.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I will.
All right, Donna, we look forward to getting some feedback from you in the future. I've got Tom and Annie in the queue, so let's go to Tom in St. Pete. Good morning to you, Tom.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, I wanted to ask you a question, but first I wanted to point out that since I passed 60, I've noticed that two things that I think the younger people should keep in mind for our younger audience. One, of all of my friends who smoke cigarettes that are still alive, and by the way, every one of them that smoked menthol cigarettes is dead. But for the people that did smoke cigarettes, the difference between them and me is profound.
Yes.
And it's the damage that cigarettes does to your body is just enormous. And the sooner you quit, the sooner you'll stop damaging your body. And number two,
exactly. You know what's really good, Tom? It's really wonderful that we in the 70s we were about 45% of our population smoked. We're down to 10%. So the education has worked. Gen Z is not picking up the butt as much as everybody else, and fortunately, the price has gone up to like $15 a pack. I heard from somebody, and so good. It's getting priced out of the market.
Yeah. Thank God. And what they're doing with these flavored vapes is just unforgivable. But number two, the people that I know that have worshipped the sun.
Yes.
The difference in their skin is profound.
Yes.
The wrinkling and the dryness, and every single person I know that was an avid outdoorsman that wasn't really religious about the sunscreen or staying under shade. It's just their skin is just ravaged. So if you have to be out in the sun, wear the sunscreen, get some sort of shade or something like that, and protect yourself as much as you can. because that's
I agree.
especially now. You know, when we were kids, we had an ozone layer, and I think the atmosphere was better for protecting. I remember, you know, we didn't get sunburned. We rarely got sunburned. You'd have to sit in the sun and fall asleep in the sun to get a sunburn. As long as you were moving around, you really didn't get much of a sunburn. But nowadays, it's really different. But my question,
it does seem worse. But a recommendation, I'd recommend that if you can't avoid the sun, if you have to go out between the hours of say 10 and 4, you should be getting one of those long sleeve UV shirts, and not just slather your body with chemicals, but wear a protective shirt, wear a wide brimmed hat on the exposed areas like ears and tops of ears especially. And you know, not all hats are 100% UV blocking. If you have a bald spot, put some sunblock on your scalp, on your nose, on your lips, and maybe on the back of your hands. And yesterday I was out in a boat, so back of my toes, because I don't want the back of my feet getting sunburned.
Oh yeah.
And limit yourself to the zinc oxide, not nanoparticle type of creams. You don't want to use the ones that have all the organic chemicals in. They're, again, generally regarded as safe, but we know that avobenzone and oxybenzone have actually killed reef fish, changed their sex and everything. So we don't want avobenzone, oxybenzone, homosalate, salicylic, benzone, enzone, anything that ends in benzone, you know, has got a benzene ring in it. Benzene's toxic. Why would we want this on our bodies?
And wheat germ oil is an SPS of 20, and if you mix it with zinc oxide, you can boost it up to a 60.
There you go.
You know, throw in your favorite essential oil, and it smells good. So there's really no excuse for letting yourself get exposed to the skin. But my question for you is, of all my biomarkers, that gray hair, which is now platinum, have you ever come across or heard of any promising, like I've heard that copper and that there's some other trace minerals that, might affect hair graying. Have you heard of anything reputable on that front?
Not at all, but I'll tell you from a different perspective. I love my gray hair because I have so few of them. I'd much rather have a shock of platinum hair on the top of my head than no hair at all. But bald is beautiful anyway, so either way, I'm not really worried about cosmetics. I had a patient who was a hairdresser, and my beard started going gray, and he brought me a couple of tubes of color to mix together and try because it would match my hair. I did it for like maybe 5 days, but I noticed that every other day I had to put more on because my white roots grew out, and I said, oh my God, I'm not putting chemicals on my face for the rest of my life. This is weird. So I'm not really worried about gray hair or wrinkles. It just shows that I have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I was just concerned that maybe it was a biomarker of a missing nutrient.
No, I've never read anything specifically about that, and people have genetics. I have a friend that went completely white at like Phil Donahue at age 32.
Yeah, Charlie Crist.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's...
I don't know if you remember, but when he was 35 years old, Chain Gang Charlie.
Seriously. So yeah, I don't worry about external manifestation in the sense. It's like people are way too concerned with what they look like. I mean, look at how obsessed people are. MAGA face is everywhere. Mar-a-Lago face. Oh my God, it's weird.
No, but it is a good idea to pay attention to your biomarkers, and if you see something going wrong, you should address it. That's
I'm just not sure that gray hair is going wrong. It just may be going the way your genetics programmed it.
Oh, that's why I was asking you. So I appreciate your opinion on that, and I'll let you know if I see any convincing research otherwise.
Excellent. And, rapid hair loss is something to be worried about, but, male pattern balding is just what it is.
Yeah, and gray hair is normal, and it tells everybody that we have the experience and wisdom to help with the world
may have-
problems.
I guarantee we have experience. I'm not sure about the wisdom. You sound very wise, though, Tom.
Potential. It's a potential. It's all. All right. Have a wonderful day. Good talking with you.
You too.
Thank you very much there, Tom. And I do have Annie, who will be also on the air in just a little while as well with the Sustainable Living Show. But I want to invite folks to participate as well with the Healthy Steps Radio Show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa. Give us a call at 813-239-9663. Good morning to you, Annie. A little pleasure to have you here now. What have you got?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to call in. I have a couple of questions. One of them, it was sort of an afterthought, but the lady that talked in about the dry mouth breathing at night got me going, because I do that a little bit. And then she spoke of a particular drug that she takes, and I take one that is a hydro, but it's not the same, and I wondered if it had any relationship to it. So it's hydrochlorothiazide that I take, and it to water off of me because of my heart.
Yeah, it's a completely unrelated medication. But so hydroxyzine is an antihistamine. It dries you out by affecting your nervous system. It actually uses a blockade to block your salivary glands from working. But hydrochlorothiazide is a diuretic. It dries you out. And the older we get, the less effective and the more dangerous using hydrochlorothiazide is for our bodies. And so you may really want to talk to your doctor about the dry mouth and a possibility of a different medication for you, because there are other ways than using hydrochlorothiazide to stabilize your cardiovascular system.
Okay. Well, I do take some other things because I have a regular heartbeat and things like that. But I mean, I don't because of the medicine. But the other thing is that I feel like my skin is much drier, and so maybe this is a big contributing factor to that. That's just great to hear, because I hadn't thought about it. And then the other thing is you're talking about the types of artificial sweeteners and how the cognitive thinking is affected by these things. And I use stevia and I use monk fruit, and I just wanted to make sure that wasn't something that was inclusive.
Actually, those are natural non-caloric sweeteners, and from what I've been able to glean, there may be on stevia regular use, there may be some microbiome in your gut changes, but it seems like they may be more positive, like you get less inflammatory bacteria. But I haven't seen any studies that suggest that any of these cause the problems that these other ones, these artificial ones, do. Now, you have to make sure that when you get monk fruit, that you're not getting monk fruit with erythritol, because that is the principal one I find on most store shelves.
Okay.
So the one I get...
use stevia. But
okay, good.
I used to use the liquid stevia, but now where I am, I can only get the powdered. And I just use a tiny, tiny bit of it in my coffee every morning, and that's it.
Well, that's not much at all, and I think that's fine. The monk fruit that I have found is mixed with allulose, and you might want to look online for this, allulose and monk fruit, or just straight up allulose, because allulose is a non-nutritive sugar, but it's a natural one, and the non-nutritive sugar actually acts like the GLP-1 agonists. It has properties that are like Ozempic and Zepbound and Mounjaro. And so I've incorporated that into my diet on a daily basis. I use that in my coffee because I like triggering that anti-inflammatory and pro-weight loss system in the body.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. That's a good thought. Allulose, Allulose. You can find it online. It's tough to find in stores. USOSE. ALLUSOSE.
No, ALLULOSE. Allulose.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. I didn't have that extra L in there. All right. Well, thanks a lot for your help. I appreciate it. I listen to your show before my show every time.
Excellent.
And
And I
learn
try
a
to get
lot.
yours, but I don't always because I have to run on sometimes.
Yeah, I understand. And you always promote it, which I appreciate. So,
Yes. Love your show. Keep going.
yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, well, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay. Ciao.
All right there, Annie. Thank you very much. And I am looking forward to kind of being here with you at the distance between here and Virginia. But I do have different callers coming on in right now, but I want to remind folks that you are listening to the Healthy Steps Radio Show with Dr. Fred Harvey, and we're down to about the last 20 minutes, so if you want to sneak on in, give us a call at 813-239-9663. Sage is judiciously entering the data and putting you in the queue, so that number, once again, is 813-239-9663. Let's go to Mike in Sarasota, and I've got Matt waiting in the queue as well. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to follow up on the last the last conversation. I use stevia in my tea, and I like a little bit of sweetness to it. And I ran out of stevia packets, and so I went down to Publix and to Whole Foods to try and replace my stevia. And I discovered that it's difficult. At least Publix and Whole Foods did not have pure stevia. They had a variety of other things added to it. There was dextrose added to it occasionally. Sometimes there was erythritol. Sometimes there was allulose, and sometimes there was sucralose. So I guess I've got a couple of questions. One of which, how come you can't just buy pure stevia anymore? I trust that because I consider it to be more natural than these other things. But then if we have to get stevia mixed with something else, which one of the other ones is a good one to use? Dextrose, sucralose, and allulose, and erythritol are the options. But,
so
which one,
the best
which one
option,
should we use?
the best option there would be the allulose. Second best would be the dextrose. And so you can still get pure stevia. You just may not be able to get it at your store. Sweet Leaf is one company I know of that just uses organic stevia extract and some water and stuff like that, some lemon flavor and things. But so Sweet Leaf is a possible brand, but I've had to go online because I don't know why they insist on. Maybe it's because big chemical and big food are directly connected, and big chemical has some extra erythritol that it made, and they need to get it sold so they can get the product off the shelf.
Okay. The interesting thing is that they say, and Sweet Leaf is one of those. It says they say this is 0 calories, but and not that I'm particularly worried about it, but they say then you get the fine print. They say, well, actually the dextrose and the allulose. It's actually 3 or 4 calories, which the FDA considers to be 0. So let me ask you this. Is allulose natural? Is dextrose natural? And what about erythritol and sucralose?
Well, I just spoke to erythritol in the beginning of my show. Don't eat it.
Yeah, and I got in on the tail end of that conversation. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Go back and listen to it. I went into detail. There's a study you can look at that is called the Association Between Consumption of Low and No Calorie Artificial Sweeteners and Cognitive Decline. This group of chemicals, aspartame, saccharin, acesulfame K, erythritol, xylitol, sorbitol. These are poisons. They should not be consumed by humans. They are not, from my perspective, safe. And they shouldn't be generally regarded as safe. But when I look at organic sweet drops from some of the companies, there are none of those other things in there. 5 drops of stevia extract is pretty sweet without any kind of caloric involvement. So there are ways you can get it. I would look for straight up allulose with monk fruit, stevia with monk fruit, stevia with allulose. But those are the ones I would basically stick with.
Now, there's one which you may have covered, which I may have missed. Did you cover sucralose? Is that in the good or bad?
Sucralose wasn't studied, but I don't believe that chlorinated sucrose is a really good thing. And we also know that polychlorinated sucrose, polysucrose, is a poison for the gastrointestinal microbiome and turns it into an inflammatory biome. So, sucralose is poison as well.
Okay. Yeah. My final comment is that I think they might be adding these other sweeteners to stevia, because stevia by itself, if you put too much in there, it has a kind of a funky taste. It's not just pure sweet. So maybe they're trying to put these other sweeteners in there to kind of dilute the weird taste. I don't know.
Well, that's I think what the Zevia soda company did. They reduced the stevia and added a little monk fruit, I think, something. It's changed because it doesn't have the horrid aftertaste. I don't like stevia. I use monk fruit and allulose.
Okay. And so monk fruit, allulose, and dextrose are all fairly natural in your book. I mean, they're fairly...
Well, dextrose is glucose. It's sugar. It's the simplest sugar that we metabolize. So you're eating sugar if you're doing that one. So you probably want to avoid that if you're going for non-caloric sweeteners.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. You've been very helpful. I really appreciate it.
Glad to help. Have a great day.
Now, we're down to about 15 minutes, and I've got a pretty full board here. Let's go to Matt in Tampa. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, Doc. The mosquitoes are back, and I'm just wondering if they love me. I'm just wondering if you have any suggestions.
Well, there's some interesting combinations of essential oils that are marketed as anti-mosquito. That's one thing you can do. But if you have to spend time outside, again, I'd put on one of those long-sleeved UV shirts if you can do it, and some long pants, light ones, of course, in the summer, and spray them with DEET. Put the DEET on the clothing, and that stink will actually repel your mosquitoes.
Nice. Never really thought of that. I appreciate it, Doc. Hope you
you're welcome. That's the best way to do it with ticks, too. You spray your lower legs. If you're walking in the woods, there's ticks around. You make sure that the bottom of your pant leg is either tucked into your sock or you have a rubber band or something around it, and then you spray, from waist down to keep the ticks off your pants. They don't like it.
Nice. I've already been hit by ticks twice this year. I brought them home.
Oh, no.
Terrible. It's awful. But, that's good. I appreciate it, Doc.
Welcome. Have a good one. Good luck this summer. They're back. I see them.
They really are.
Thank you very much there, Matt. And we've got another regular caller, Greg from the land of Lincoln up in Illinois. Good morning to you, Greg.
Good morning, gentlemen. Question about xylitol and toothpaste. There's an Ayurvedic toothpaste I've been using, and it's listed under an app called Yucca, which is actually pretty comprehensive for rating products, and it says it's risk-free with xylitol, which obviously it's not. So my question is, would an oral, to twice daily oral toothpaste be enough xylitol to cause a problem? It also has thymol. I wonder if that's a related product. And if both of those are mixed, can you recommend a toothpaste that doesn't have either of those ingredients? It's tough to find something without something in it, nanoparticles or whatever that's on it.
It's so true. You're correct. And everything's nuanced. So an interesting piece of information about xylitol. The reason I mentioned it in the dry mouth lozenge is that she swallows that. When you give gum that has xylitol in it to preschoolers, they have a significant reduction in strep, pneumonia, sore throats, respiratory infections, and earaches. The strep gets pushed away by the xylitol. So if you can spit out your xylitol while you're doing your gum, it's probably a better idea. You don't want that everywhere, but if it coats the mouth, it changes the mouth biome, and it actually is harmful to the bacteria that cause cavities and that cause these respiratory infections. So maybe the toothpaste isn't that bad a thing because you're spitting it out. You're not spending all day with it. It's tough to find any without some sort of thing like xylitol in it. Thymol, Thymol, is the active terpene, the essential oil from thyme and many other herbs. I think oregano has it, and I think there's a little bit in lavender. A bunch of these herbs have thymol, and thymol is called thymol because it's really potent in the herb thyme, and it is antibacterial, antiviral, antioxidant. And so it's actually a benefit for the toothpaste because it also changes to a more beneficial biome in your mouth.
Okay, so if we're spitting it out twice a day, it's probably not going to be a problem. It would be consuming a pop, carbonated beverage with it as a sweetener.
Exactly. And I do think that there's evidence that these sugar alcohols cause the problem, but I believe that the evidence is so much more potent, so much more evident for aspartame, acesulfame, sucralose, and saccharin. Those are the really bad ones.
They've been known for years to be bad, and it's just odd that it's taken this long to become mainstream studied.
Oh, come on. What's odd about the obfuscation of American industry from keeping us unaware of the bad stuff they do to us? That's business practice.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all the great info you dig up for us. Keeps us healthy.
Glad to help.
Thanks, Doc. Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Thank you very much there, Greg. Let's go to Rita in Tampa. Good morning to you, Rita.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Hi, Dr. Harvey. I love your show. I'm a big fan of the show. I started developing numbness in my arms, and I had an MRI, and they said I have a bulging disc, of course, C3, 4, 5, 6. I was a hygienist for many years. They're doing therapy, but I didn't know if there was anything else I could do for the numbness.
So, is the numbness constant?
Yes, and I it's very painful, and I can't even hardly sleep at night.
Well, have you had any kind of body work? Have you had anybody do a massage or any kind of work on your neck and shoulders?
Well, the PT, the therapist, started working on my the upper part of my body with some deep massage, but I didn't know if I should do like a chiropractor or something else.
With the amount of stuff you have going on, I'm not sure chiropractic adjustment is the first thing I would consider. But deep tissue massage, class 4 laser, the hot laser, not cold laser, not the class 3 laser, but a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a physical therapist who uses class 4 laser can actually get some deep tissue work going on you. I personally like to get the class 4 laser and then follow it with a good massage and then possibly a chiropractic adjustment. But they can get deeper and do better work after some hot laser therapy.
Okay, and who would be doing that?
A chiropractor, acupuncturist, or a physical therapist. All three have access to these devices.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to have surgery. That's the last thing on my list. So
that is definitely the last approach. I would exhaust every other possibility prior to allowing someone to cut on me. I've had rotator cuff problems. I've had a paralyzed right leg from a herniated disc in my lumbar spine that I fixed with doing everything except surgery.
Okay, great. Okay. I will try to find the laser then and see the massage and
class 4 hot laser, K laser, light cure. These are the lasers you want to look for.
Okay. Oh, thank you. You're just wonderful.
Glad to help. Right. Hope you feel better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Best wishes to you there, Rita. And we're down to about the last 4, 5, 6 minutes, and I've got Mary in Dunedin. Good morning, Mary.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, this is Mayor, of course. And I wasn't aware of functional doctors when I had cancer, breast cancer. And now I am, and none of them take me insurance. But anyway, I went to Dr. Peter Blumenkrantz, who's like second best, now retired. And then the hospitals closed down because of COVID for things like facelift, breast lift, and giant tumors on your chest. So I had Red Devil chemo, big pharma strikes again, and then 12 weeks of what they called walk in the park chemo. And I'm 5.5 years into recovery now, but I also had radiation for 6.5 weeks, 5 days a week.
Sounds like you had an aggressive cancer.
It was pretty big by the time they got the paperwork in the right place and got me in. Then I had to go straight to chemo to Dr. McConney, who's wonderful. And now I have, brain fog, which is getting better, and neuropathy. And I was wondering about foods and beverage supplements, whatever that could help with any of those things that caused by that red devil, which is, strongest on the planet. And you don't only have it once in your lifetime. But Dr. Grant said he got it all, just took one boob in my boobectomy.
Yes. So for you, apparently, it's not a red devil. It's a red angel.
Yes, that saved my life.
Yeah, so let's reframe it. So the red angel and the other chemotherapy and the radiation tear down your structure. And so you need some rebuilding. I would recommend that you find someone who does a metabolomic test like Genova Diagnostics Laboratories Nutra Eval. It's a test that I use on all of my patients because it gives me an understanding of where their systems are dysfunctioning so that we can actually recommend the appropriate nutritional intervention to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, what was the name? Nutra what?
It's Nutra, N-U-T-R, N-U-T-R, and then cap E-V-A-L, Nutrival. And it is from Genova, Genova Diagnostics. A good functional medicine doctor would be doing that for you to help understand what's going on in your body after it's been assaulted by things like chemotherapy.
Yeah, I'm 71 and I have no way to work right now. I've got my 5 lower vertebrae are dissolving, and I've got to suddenly have scoliosis. Suddenly got diagnosed with scoliosis.
It sounds like your systems are having a struggle.
I'm going to kick its butt and go back to work,
Mm-hmm.
I was never meant to be a housewife, so I will contact those people or look up those things and do that. And I love your show, and I love you and your man, hokey as he may be. I love y'all.
Thank you.
Everybody else talk real quick.
Another place you can get help so you can actually interpret this test is to go to ifm.org. The Institute for Functional Medicine has a doctor search in your area for a functional medicine practitioner.
Yeah, but none of them take insurance, right?
Some do, some don't. But you know what?
Oh, okay.
You're talking about an issue here that you may want to invest a little bit of money in to get an understanding of it.
Yeah, by the time we pay rent, basics, we're broke, me and my sister. Where I'm on a little widow's pension, and VA wouldn't give me any money, and whatever, a little SSI.
It is a struggle, but one of the things you can do. So in that situation, one of the things you can do is begin. If you're not doing 3 to 4 servings of vegetables a day, you need to do that. That is the first healthy step you can take. And if you're not walking 20 minutes outside every day, that's the second healthy step you can do.
Yes, we're doing some, and I'm walking inside in step anyway and working out best I can.
So get those vegetables on board.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
All right. You have a blessed day as well. Hey, thanks, everybody. This has been a great show. We got right down to the wire here. I really appreciate you all calling in and engaging with such candor. You're vulnerable and you're sharing with us. And it really helps everyone who's listening because, well, I'm teaching for one, I'm teaching for everybody. And that just gives me joy. Thank you, Bill, for doing the in-house production. Thank you, Sage, for answering phones. And thank everybody for calling in. I'll see you again next week for some more Ask Me Anything.
And thank you, Dr. Harvey, for another informative and rewarding Healthy Steps radio show. And thanks to all of our participants, listeners, and supporters. You make this show exemplary. And Sage, thank you for answering the phones today and all that entails. This show would not be possible without your assistance. You have been listening to the Healthy Steps radio show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa. Waiting for you like a dear friend is 5 minutes of NPR headline news, and then get ready for the Sustainable Living Show, hosted today by Annie Ellis. So until next Monday at 10 a.m., thank you for supporting and listening to the Healthy Steps radio show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa, your community conscious radio station. Stay safe, stay thoughtful, and know that you are loved.